Alright, what's going on, guys? So I don't know. Last few days been pretty good, but for some reason I just woke up with this like dark cloud over me today. We all have bad days, right? And sometimes I get like overwhelming urges, and that's why I'm talking to you guys right now. Things don't always go your way, right? And I talked about that the other day. Expectations, like you can't expect anything out of anyone, right? And if you look for yourself in others, you'll be disappointed every time. But I went out for a walk to clear my head, and just thinking to myself about, where I was this time a year ago. Actually, this time a year ago I was in jail, but this time 2 years ago I was out on the streets, and I can just remember what my days were like back then. And I'd wake up at 6 in the morning. I used to sleep on this bench outside of a coffee shop in DC called Compass Coffee. I slept outside the one on 8th and Florida, right there by U Street. And they open the shop at 6, so they wake me up and, hey man, you can't be here anymore. If it's real cold outside, they might bring me a hot cup of coffee. And it'd be freezing. It was fall, it was winter time. I slept outside covered in a pile of blankets to stay warm, and I'd wake up, it'd be so cold outside I couldn't feel my extremities, and I'd have to rush to the metro to get into the heat. I'd carry my sign down to L'Enfant Plaza and post up and set it down on my knees, and by the time I woke up an hour and a half to 2 hours later, I'd have a pile of cash sitting under my legs and a bag of food sitting next to me, and whatever else, and run off to the plug and just continue to chase all day. I easily made a couple $100s a day panhandling. And I walk around on the streets of the cities that I live in, the places that I visit, just wherever I go, and I see these people out here with signs, panhandling, saying that they're homeless. And I'm not saying that you guys aren't. But I also know what I was doing when I was in that position. And it's hard because I didn't want to be in that position, and I didn't want to lie to people. I didn't want to take I didn't want to take advantage of anyone. But the habit comes before everything else, right? Like, fuck everything. The only thing I'm really worried about is getting high. And I don't know, sometimes I gotta think about that shit. I gotta think about how rough it was, how hard that life was for me, because I really enjoy living life with no restrictions and no rules. Someone the other day asked me, we were on the phone, they asked me, did you have fun while you were out there? Like, is there any way that you can look back on that and think about any times where you thought that you were happy or you enjoyed it? And I mean, The short answer is yes, actually. And that really, it sounds crazy, like I get that. Um, but you get to a point where you just kind of accept things for what they are, and you try to make the most out of your situation. Um, and that's crazy to think that I could have ever had fun doing that kind of stuff and being out there like that, but I did. You know, I met some interesting people. I had some good times. I met some good people. It wasn't all bad. And I like to have adventures, right? Like, you know, the other day I packed my bag and went home to Manassas for a few days, and I didn't have a plan heading down there, really. I mean, I was supposed to meet someone the day I got down there, but the rest of it I left open because I wanted to see that I still have it in me, right? Like, can I pack a bag and roll out for a few days and just do my thing? And you know, that's a thrill for me. Like, it's something that I like to do for fun. But I don't ever want to get back to the point where I was, right? Like, I like having a home to go back to. When I walked into the door and I hadn't been home in 3 days, and the dogs like literally straight up attacked me because they were so excited to see me again, that was a good feeling, right? Like, the cat was so excited that he literally like climbed up onto my shoulders and gave me a hug. And you know, for you cat owners out there, like, it was cool. But I can also remember how bad things got, and a lot of that stuff I haven't really talked about with anybody yet. You know, there's some things that I've told my therapist, but there's a lot of things that I've never said out loud to another human being. And I can remember this one time that I was out there and I had gone to the block to go see a guy, and you know, hey man, I got something new, I need you to try this and tell me what it is. And, you know, for those of you who know me, like, yeah, please, I'll be the guinea pig, like, throw that stuff here, no questions asked. Like, so I had this little spot where I used to go, and it's like an access hallway, like a maintenance hallway for an apartment building. It's in a underground parking garage, and the hallway is closed off, right? Like, it's completely abandoned hallway. Like, no one uses it. So I go down there, and I, before I'm even done pushing the plunger down, I'm out cold. And when I come to, the first thing that pops into my head is, man, that stuff is really good. Like, I know that I had gone out, right? I wake up, I look around, like, I collect myself, and I understand rationally, like, okay, like, you went out, like, there's a chunk of time missing, but I'm underground, I can't see, you know, and this is 10 at night, so I'm thinking maybe I'm out for an hour and a half. I'm thinking to myself, fantastic, right? This stuff is super good. Like, I've got enough money, not enough money, I've got enough time to where I can go back out to U Street and I can hold that sign out and I can make some more bread and I can go back and see this dude again before the night's over. So I finish off what I have left, and I pack my bag up and I go outside, right? And as I'm walking up the ramp to go outside of this parking garage, I realized that the sun is all the way up, right? I went down here at 10 at night, right? It's summertime. Sun's all the way up. I was out for a good 12 hours. There is a possibility that I could have died down there and no one would have found me. no one would have been able to identify the body. I didn't have anything on me to identify myself, right? I had been using I'd been using somebody else's name and social security number to run from a warrant, right? So nobody in DC truly knew who I was. And that scared me, right? There's this instant where you realize, like, wow, like, I could have been dead down here for weeks and no one would have found my body. No one would have known, probably until it started to smell, right? Like, it's probably when they would have found me. And how would my family have known? How would they have known who to contact? And yeah, that scared the shit out of me, but it didn't scare me enough to fucking stop using, dude. And so when I tell you guys that it's a miracle that I'm standing here talking to you right now, it really is, and I mean that. And while things suck sometimes, life is infinitely better for me right now. And sometimes I don't feel 100%, and sometimes I am not happy-go-lucky and bouncing off the walls, but you're not supposed to feel like that 100% of the time. It's not natural. And for whatever it's worth, you know, I woke up today and wasn't really feeling it, but I'm glad that I'm sober right now. I'm glad that I'm alive, and there's a lot of things to be happy for. I never thought that I'd make it as far as I have. The Keith Beecher that I just described to you from 2 years ago that was overdosing in underground hallways, never thought that he'd find a way out of that life. And by the grace of whatever higher power you subscribe to, I'm still here, and I know that that's for a reason. And I just want to thank everyone out there that's helped me along the way and has made a new life possible for me. I know that ultimately the work is up to me, but I have some fantastic friends and family that have really helped and been in my corner. And I know sometimes that I'm a lot, and I know sometimes that, you know, I probably act like I need more than others can give. The fact that anyone is there for me right now is just amazing, and I love you all. And I just wanted to let you guys know that no matter what happens, there's never a reason to give up. For those of you who know me, I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan, and as Jean Ralphio says, when life gives you lemons, sell your grandma's jewelry and go clubbing. I'm just fucking with y'all. Thanks for listening. My name's Keith and I'm an addict. Thanks for letting me share.